You are now tuned into Flippin' the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome one, welcome all to episode 35 of Flippin' the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Fonte. And if you're tuning in to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or even Spotify, please don't forget to rate us, give us a thumbs up, and a nice comment to follow that. How you feeling today, brother?
I'm sore.
I feel like that's a mood that the day brought, unless you've been working out.
No, dude, like, listen, we just got a Peloton on Saturday, and it was completely by accident.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure it was.
Listen. So we're actually leasing it, because I'm not going to shell out $3,000 right now to buy a fucking exercise bike. So last month, my wife was talking to her friends, like, oh, I wish I had one. Because all her friends are obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. So it's I go on my phone and I look through the leasing program through a firm, and I'm going through it, and I get pre-qualified. I'm like, of course I get pre-qualified for it. Have you seen my credit scores? So I'm going through it, and all I wanted to see what would be the earliest we can have it delivered if I were to go through it.
So you went about 75% of the way.
Yeah, I went 75% of the way. I wasn't gonna go 100%.
Okay.
Because obviously, if you do something without your wife's approval, no matter if it's something that they want or not, like it could be the biggest diamond ring like this size. Oh, you didn't buy it without my permission? Come on, guys, if you're listening, you understand.
Yes.
So, it could be a mansion, but will you purchase it without me? No, as long you got to be together. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me just see when it could be, and I could tell her, listen, we can get it at this day if we get it. So I see the earliest it could be delivered is May 9th. Now, granted, it's like the middle of April when I was looking at this. So I'm like, oh man, I wonder. So I click on it, and I click next, hoping that I had their other steps to go through. As soon as I press next, congratulations, you just ordered your Peloton bike. I'm like, are you kidding? So I'm like this. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh shit.
And you couldn't cancel the order?
I couldn't cancel the order. My wife looks at me and she goes, what just happened? I'm like, we'll get a Peloton bike. And she's like, what? So I said, we can cancel. I was like, I'll call and cancel. Like, no, it's okay.
Of course, because then
yeah.
So it's pretty much a Mother's Day gift for her.
So it came on Saturday, man, and I've ridden. What's today? Tuesday. I rode on Sunday, yesterday, today. I am sore. My ass is sore from that seat. I can't move my legs. Oh, my oblique, right here, my back is. Oh, I got a knot. Oh man, I'm dead.
Well, luckily for us, you don't have to.
I cut my head when I was shaping myself up this morning.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, see, I'm hurting.
Sounds like you're going through a lot over there in House Infante.
It's been rough.
Well, let's talk about some brighter days then instead. Eagles schedule came out. It's looking like a well-nourished schedule, I could really say, because it's so balanced. We don't have like a.
Oh, there are some bad stretches.
Yeah, but I'm mistaken. Like later in the schedule, we have Packers, Saints, and Seahawks all back to back to back.
Yeah, that's a rough schedule. Even the Niners, Steelers, and Ravens. That's a little bit of a rough schedule in October, like from October 4th to October 11th, October 18th. Now, granted, this is all if the season starts on time
and if everybody's healthy as well.
Yeah, but it is more spread out than looking at the schedule coming in, seeing all the teams that we're facing. It was gonna, like, no matter how you scheduled it, it was like, oh, it's gonna be a rough schedule. But the way it is right now, it's not too bad. Like,
It's not impossible to
Like
overcome.
you start with the Redskins again. So it's like, okay, does the league want us to start 1-0 again? It's going to be the first test of Andre Dillard versus Chase Young.
Should be very interesting.
Or will it be Jason Peters again? We'll get into that later. And then you go to you come back home to face the Rams, and that's a little bit of a welcome sight. They've been going to LA
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, and especially like on road trips. I think last year wasn't it Seattle first and then LA, or it was something where they had to stay on the West Coast.
Wild, yeah.
And
I know like 2017 was like San Diego at the time and LA.
It was just rough. Like, no, last year it was at Seattle, then at Miami. But it's like there was a stretch where I guess it was the year before where they just were, and then last year they had the 3 straight road games in October. But they finally get a break and not going to LA and staying home again the next week for Cincinnati. It's not a crazy road stretch. I mean, they go to San Francisco, and then the following week they go to Pittsburgh. I mean, they can come back home and they could just drive to Pittsburgh after that. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. And then later in the season, you got back-to-back road games with the Giants, and then Cleveland, which is, again, not too terrible of a road trip, back-to-back road trip. And then later on in December, you got at Arizona. And by the way, that's a nice December game for them. Going to Arizona on December 20th.
Inside of Dome as well.
That is a nice road trip for them.
And then traveling to Dallas afterwards.
Yeah, and going to Dallas afterwards. You're in the heat in late December. That's gonna be a good, spot for them. I mean, if they're fighting for a playoff spot, I mean, you got the Packers game. That's gonna be pretty damn cold.
And my question is, last time we faced the Packers was in Lambeau, correct?
Yes, but it was in September.
No, but I understand that. The year before, we didn't face the Packers. In 2017, we faced the Packers again. No, 2016 was it? Carson's rookie year when we lost to the Packers. So it was 2016, 2017 we didn't play them. 2018 we didn't play them. 2019 we did.
In our history we faced them in 2016, 2019. So last and
both at Lambeau?
No, last year was at Lambeau. Rookie year was at home.
Okay, so now I take that back then.
2014 was at Lambeau. 2013 was at Lambeau. 2011 was in Philly. It's kind of been all. There was a stretch from 2004, 2006 where it was 4 straight in Philly, but one was a playoff game in 2004 when the Eagles were on their way to Super Bowl. But it's been pretty even, except that it's just the Packers lead the all-time series 27-17.
Just the Seahawks one that's been uneven.
Oh yeah, they're finally at home. Yeah. They're finally at home for Seattle, and that starts the stretch of murderers row, so to speak. Home to Seattle, away at Green Bay, and then home to the Saints, and then you go away to Arizona. That's not going to be a easy game.
Well, let's stay in Arizona for a second. I want to pick your brain about this. I woke up this morning and I kind of put it in our group chat, but I didn't see you respond to it yet.
Because I didn't feel like it.
I know you probably didn't. It was okay. You probably saving it for today. Kyler Murray has the higher odds of being MVP than Carson Wentz, a player who doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver, went on a 4-0 stretch at the end of the season last season, put up, 4,000 plus yards with no wide receiver over 500. And Kyler Murray has higher odds of MVP than Carson Wentz.
I mean, I
get it's the DeAndre Hopkins effect, but at some point, there's got to be a logic to this.
Like, you get, I mean, all Vegas wants is money. That's all they want. They just want money.
But Carson Wentz is money.
But that's the thing. I feel like they see that. They see, they know what Wentz did last year with the grocery bag Packers,
Mm-hmm.
the Walmart employees. But they see the rookie of the year get Kenyon Drake last year, now gets DeAndre Hopkins. And you still
But he
got
still has no protection.
I know, but when you're Kyler Murray and you're so small, you could run like a freaking 3.5 40.
There's only one Russell Wilson, man.
I know that, but I'm not defending Kyler Murray. I mean, it sounds like I am, but I'm not saying he should be higher than Wentz. But it's not hard to see why they're putting all their eggs in a basket in Kyler Murray, because it's just I guess I'm sure the same thing would have been done for Dak the year after his rookie year, because he went from rookie of the year
What's
to
Dak's MVP odds right now?
I think he's a little higher than Wentz. Wentz is at plus 2,000. Dak is at plus 1,800. So he's a little higher than Wentz. And by the way, speaking of Carson Wentz, last four games of the season where he went 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
He had the sixth most passing yards during that stretch in the entire league. First was Jameis Winston, Mr. 5,000-yard thrower, who's now a backup, 1,450. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 1,263. Matt Ryan, 1,220. Jared Goff, 1,219. Derek Carr, 1,211. And Carson Wentz, 1,199. Wentz, of those six players, only he and Matt Ryan went 4-0. Winston and Fitzpatrick and Goff went 2-2, and Derek Carr went 1-3.
This will be a very interesting season.
By the way, Drew Brees in the last 4 games of the season, 15 touchdowns.
Good Lord.
Holy shit.
How many did Wentz have in the last 4?
7. No interceptions.
They really relied on a running game.
Jesus Christ. Dak Prescott, by the way, 10th, 11-14. He also had 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but a lower passer rating.
I'm curious.
And 60% completion percentage to Carson Wentz is 67.
Dak versus Wentz. Is it really a rivalry, in complete honesty? I mean, so many NFL critics, like actual high media critics, they say Dak isn't, he's not really a franchise quarterback.
Here's the deal. Here's my take.
Okay.
Like, my thing is, we can have an intelligent conversation with Cowboys fans on who's better, who's not, who in certain aspects, blah, blah, blah. But rarely any Cowboys fan wants to have that conversation. All they want is Dak this, Dak this, Dak that. Wentz sucks, Wentz.
It's literally all it is.
That's all it is. You can find maybe 5 Cowboys fans out of the millions there are that can actually hold a conversation about the 2 quarterbacks and not get in a freaking heated argument. And the thing is, like, I put out that stat about Wentz's season. And by the way, someone commented on my status, my not status, not Facebook, my tweet yesterday saying there's a lot of qualifiers in this tweet. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, I'm seeing what other quarterbacks had the same season or better than Carson Wentz did. So yeah, I'm gonna put qualifiers in there because I want to see who did what Carson Wentz did. So kiss my ass. Okay. So I put in, Wentz threw for over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, with a 63.92% completion rate and a 93.1 passer rating. Only other quarterbacks with a 4,000-yard, 27 touchdown or more, 7 or less interceptions, 63% completion percentage or more, or a 93 or higher rating. Again, the same season that Wentz did. Matt Ryan did it twice. Tom Brady did it once. Aaron Rodgers did it 4 times. Brett Favre did it once. And Russell Wilson did it once. Also last year, Russell Wilson. So I was like, let me see if anybody else did the kind of season Dak did, because I really wanted to throw it in Cowboys fans' faces to say, although only 5 other quarterbacks did what Wentz did. I bet everybody else and their grandmothers did what Dak did, and what I found.
The service.
It is disturbing because I can't have an argument about this anymore. Dak had he threw for he had a 65% completion rate, 4,902 yards, 30 touchdowns. The only other quarterbacks to have a season like that, just Dak Prescott.
How many interceptions?
He had 11 interceptions. But so I looked up. I was like, oh, let me see in the history of the NFL, and I'll do that right now. What quarterback has had 4,900 or more passing yards, a completion percentage of 65 or more, and passing touchdowns of 30 or more? And when I press get results off Pro Football Reference, oh wait, hold on. I also put something else in, definitely, because there comes up with a lot more people. So it looks like a lot of other people had this kind of season he did. But when you factor in his, what else did I put in here?
So a lot of people have had the same season. You're saying?
Yeah. So never mind. Okay, I'm off of that right now. So now, suck it. So Peyton Manning had his 55 touchdown year. 68% completion, 54, 77, 55 touchdowns.
Was that Denver or Indianapolis?
That was in Denver. Patty Mahomes, 2018, 5,000 yards, 66% completion rate, 50 touchdowns. I forget. So what the hell did I write? Because it definitely wasn't passer rating because all these guys had better passer ratings than him. I'm really curious now. I'm perplexed. But anyways, so all of these guys, Ben Roethlisberger did it. So Peyton Manning did it once. Mahomes did it once. Breeze did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Matt Ryan did it twice. Ben Roethlisberger did it twice. So all these other,
you could say Wentz was going to do it once.
the 2017.
He was on track for it. I mean, he had over 30 touchdowns.
But he wasn't on his way to 4,900 yards or more.
What do you finish off with? It was week 13 he got injured?
Once he after he was done in 2017, he had 32.96. So in 3 more games, he wasn't getting 1,600 more yards.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
So he played 13 games out of there. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He was only averaging 253 yards a game. But so what Wentz did, okay, so suck it, Cowboys fans. So what Wentz did last year was a lot more special than what Dak did. So suck it. But anyways, what I was saying, like we're talking back and forth on Wentz versus Dak. They're both great quarterbacks, but you can't say that. Mina Kimes, I don't know if you saw that tweet today. Mina Kimes sent out a tweet today.
Okay.
And she's funny as ever.
She's really good to listen to as well.
She put like whispers. Both Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott are good QBs. And then like people were like, no, you have to pick one. You have to pick one. Like obviously we have to if we're Eagles and Cowboys fans, and we know who we pick 100%. Actually, when it's Eagles, like when it's Cowboys fans, there are little splits. A lot of Cowboys fans don't like Dak and don't like the fact that he's waiting out and trying to get more money. By the way, I really hope Deshaun Watson signs his extension.
If he does, that's gonna be
before Dak Prescott, because holy shit,
that's gonna be bad.
Dak is gonna have all the leverage in the world, and I hope he uses it, because the fact is, if he's holding out for more money than Wentz, he kind of has an argument. I get it. We pick Wentz 110 times out of 10, but he does have his argument over Wentz on how much money he deserves. He deserves double Wentz. Go give him all the cap space. I don't care. But if Deshaun Watson, who has missed more games than Wentz, but doesn't get slandered nearly as enough as Wentz.
There's at least like almost 5 or 6 quarterbacks that have missed more games than Wentz since Wentz has entered the NFL. Even Aaron Rodgers is on that list.
Like it's ridiculous, you know. It's
so that conversation needs to be murdered.
But the thing is, like what people look at is, although he's only missed 8 regular season games in his career, he's missed the 4 playoff games in 2017. No, sorry, 3 in 2017 because they had the bye. Mm-hmm. He missed the Bears game, I think he's missed 5 playoff games. So in total, he's missed 13. But that's like that was just a miracle work of Foles for them to get there. Like if Foles doesn't get them to the playoffs in 2017, Wentz only missed 3 games that year.
Yeah.
If Foles doesn't get them to the playoffs in 2018, he only missed 5 games that year. So it's just a product of how far the team went with Foles those 2 years. Wentz missed those games, and then you want to say, well, he missed the rest of the game last year when Jadeveon Clowney slammed his in head into Wentz. Okay, he would have played next week by all the reports that we saw. So, but all these other quarterbacks like Watson, like Rodgers, and all these other quarterbacks that missed more games than Wentz, they don't get slandered nearly as enough as Wentz does. But I really hope to God Watson signs a $38 million deal per year, because Dak is going to say he's going to have a check laid out for $45 million a year, and he's going to say, just need your signature here, Jerry. And if you don't sign it, then I'm out. Which I think at this point Dallas will be okay without. I'm more nervous with them with Dalton than I am with Dak. Dalton is undefeated.
He's not a bad quarterback at all.
Dalton's undefeated against the Eagles in his career. He's 3-0.
But it's not the same Dalton.
He's the ginger Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but he's not the same guy we've talked about from years past.
Oh, I get it, but the dude, if I say this because the dude brought the Bengals to the playoffs. The Bengals.
I remember that. I was actually rooting for them during that run.
Not just one time. Like he has 5 winning seasons with the Bengals. His rookie year, he was 9-7. His 2012, 10-6. 2013, 11-5. 2014, 10-5-1. 2015, 10-3. 5 straight winning seasons for the Bengals and Marvin Lewis. He went to the playoffs 4 times. Now, when he went to the playoffs,
they had weapons and they had a decent defense.
When he went to the playoffs,
it's just
he's 0-4, 55% completion rate, 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions. Yeah,
it's the low budget market version of Dallas. That's all it is.
It just changed. But Andy Dalton, when he had a healthy AJ Green and a nice running game.
But Amari Cooper is not AJ Green. Michael Gallup is not AJ Green. CeeDee Lamb, I feel so bad for the man, bro.
I'm just saying, like, Andy Dalton with weapons is pretty damn good. And Dallas, as much as we hate them, they have weapons on offense. Their defense sucks.
But we've added very key weapons.
I know that. I'm not saying I'm not here saying that the Eagles are going to get swept by the Cowboys, because they're not. They're going to sweep them 2-0 next year. Mark it down.
I understand that. But
CeeDee Lamb,
out there to the folks that are going to get back to us.
CeeDee Lamb's going to look like a baby sheep out there, which is a lamb.
Is it like, I don't know what it is. I feel so bad for him to be stuck in Dallas. Like they drafted him for no apparent reason.
I feel more bad that he was forced 88.
That's so foul.
Dude was hoping to get, like, give him the number 10.
Meanwhile, Jalen Rager had his own crazy announcement of 18, and everybody praised it and loved it.
Who the hell are you holding number 10 for? What they had Cole Beasley was number 10 for them.
Tavon Austin as well.
And Tavon Austin, what? Okay, sorry, you can't have those numbers.
They're legendary.
Well, we're gonna give you Des Bryant's and Michael Irvin's.
I don't get it, honestly.
Before you step on the freaking football field.
Before we keep on going with Lamb, I want to say something. So the night that Jalen Rager was drafted, I wasn't the most enthusiastic person in the world, but I was optimistic to a tiny bit. You were on Jalen Rager more than I was. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, watching all the film, hearing this guy, how he carries himself, dude, Jalen Rager is going to eat in the link. Like, he's not a one-trick pony. He's not just speed. He's literally
He has, like, what the Eagles did this offseason, both draft and free agency. They got some damn personalities.
No, everything was so well calculated.
They got some dudes who like to talk, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. Like, they back up their shit. It's if you've seen Nico Roby Coleman's Instagram, he talks so much shit on his Instagram. His Instagram name, I'll tell you right now, like it's a total cornerback name. His name, the official real deal. And in his bio,
a Cindy Jones nickname after he breaks out.
In his bio, it says slot god because he's a slot corner. So, we got him, we got Slay, who loves to talk.
Oh my God, I love
We've seen Will Parks all over Twitter. Kayvon Wallace.
So static to be home. And Kayvon
Wallace.
Can we talk about how much of a steal this kid really is?
Dude is a fan favorite of all fan favorites now.
How is he not a top safety in the first, gone in the first or second round?
Then you got John Hightower, who riding bikes without his hands and he's standing up on bikes. And you got Jalen Reagor, who, really the only ones who hasn't really talked. We don't know what Casey Toohill sounds like right now. We don't. We've seen Prince.
Reagor doesn't talk though. Reagor doesn't talk at all.
Rager
on observes Twitter, everything, and he says okay, cool, I got you.
On Twitter, I've seen his interviews. He said, "I can do anything." That's the way he's talking, which is fine.
It's just a humble brag.
Yeah, he's like, "I can do anything," and that's something that they have needed for so.
Alshon Jeffrey has been way too quiet. Even the Super Bowl when he was like, "I just want to play," way too.
Alshon, imagine these are my wife's sunglasses right now, but he at the Super Bowl, Alshon was just like. We haven't had that Alshon Jeffrey since the Super Bowl, and it's about damn time. We already have a soft-spoken quarterback. We don't need soft-spoken everything else.
But that's the beauty of it, though. We have such a soft-spoken quarterback, but we have dogs at wide receiver that are going to talk so much and do damage. This is not a Nelson Aguilar 2.0.
I cannot wait for D-Jax to look across him and see Ronald Darby lined up across from him. Holy shit.
It's double move right there. First play.
oh my God. And then they're going to take him off D-Jax and put him on Rager. It's going to be the same shit. And Marquise Goodwin's going to come in. Ronald Darby's going to give up.
Isn't it wild, though, that we have that kind of artillery right behind, receiver after receiver? We have such great arsenal, weapons at our disposal.
Yeah, Darby's gonna look at he's like, nah, I'm not playing. He's gonna do. You know what Darby's gonna do? He's gonna be like, oh my God, who's that safety that quit at halftime?
Oh,
on the Bills.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's
gonna bug me. You just look it up right now.
I am. Fonte Davis, corner.
Yeah,
he quit at halftime. That's gonna be Darby.
Absolutely. At halftime.
He's gonna be like, at halftime they're gonna put the lowest stat on the bottom of the screen. Ronald Darby targeted 12 times, completed 12 receptions, 300 yards.
It's gonna be a
Wentz might break the record for most yards in first half on Darby. Darby alone.
It's weird. I haven't really thought about the expectation of Carson Wentz heading into the season now with everything around him. It's got to be through the roof. You had to be putting up at least 30+ touchdowns now, as long as the coaching staff puts the right game plan in place for him.
You know what I did last week? I looked at the 40 times and all that, and the last time he had a fast sporting cast like this was 2017, and we saw what he did in 2017. So you do that, and he has the deep ball. He has the deep ball thing. It's just last year when he didn't, and this sucks to admit, but I went through all his stats from last year, and this is from Pro Football Reference, and I don't know how to describe a short pass to a deep pass. I don't know where the cutoff is, but with his weapons last year, again, people that you can find at your local grocery market.
Stop doing that to Greg Ward, man. Come on. Show some respect.
Greg Ward worked at the Aldi's down the road. I'm pretty sure he took my order at Wendy's the other day.
Terrible.
Anyways, when Wentz was passing short left, he had 68% completion percentage for 3,859 yards, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. When he was passing short middle, 70.5% completion, 2,403 yards, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Short right, 71.4 completion percentage, 3,954 yards, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Again, I don't know where their threshold is for short to deep, but when you go to deep, and remember what what weapons he had last year for these stats. Deep left, 41.7% completion percentage, 1,671 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Deep middle, 38.6% completion percentage, 877 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Deep right, 32.4% completion percentage, 1,415 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So he had 26 touchdowns to 21 interceptions throwing it deep to this supporting cast last year. This is in his career. Sorry. This is his career. Sorry. Career.
He hasn't really had like the deep ball in his career though. Like Deshaun was the only thing going for him outside of Aguilar's slot, verticals in 2017.
I would have to believe that these stats are for like past 20 yards at least.
I think it's past past the 20-yard mark.
Because for the most part, all of his stuff is worked in 10 to 15-yard range. And you look at the Ertz and Goddard, and all these players that and Nelly when he's underneath, and really the only time he threw it deep were his 2 passes to Djax last year and then to Alshon. But outside of that, couldn't. I mean, Torrey Smith, yeah, but
he was more of a decoy though, because Torrey Smith was the later part of his career.
Right. So it's like Wentz finally has those guys to help him with those statistics on the
But it's not only that though, because one thing that we have not yet seen to its full potential yet is one thing that Chris said. If you listen to the podcast, he actually loves this formation. Is 12 personnel. Like you have,
I would rather have 13.
Goddard, Ertz, in majority of the snaps with Rager and Djax on the outside. Like you have everything you need with Sanders in the backfield. Like,
or even like
this offense is going to be too. If they stay healthy, this offense is going to be too.
There's going to be no stopping them. There's going to be no stopping them.
It's not just gassing like this. If you actually think about it, like this is like
if you look at the teams in the division, the Redskins had a really good draft. They did. I think they had a good enough draft to finish third, and the Giants will.
By the way, do you know Joe Judge came out?
I was about to say that Joe Judge. Yeah, that's really something you want to admit.
Not a vote of confidence you want for Giants fans.
It's really something you want to admit. For those of you that don't know, Joe Judge said today that you can look forward to the Giants offense looking like what Dallas did with Jason Garrett.
That's not that Dallas was bad, but to think about it, like, why? Why not?
I want to see a lot of this. Just
wow!
Across the country, the claps. It is going to be a dogfight for the division.
Absolutely.
Strength of schedule. I think Dallas has like the third easiest schedule in the league, and we have like the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the teams that we're facing, you're like, how the hell does that happen? For finally, the Patriots don't have the easiest schedule. They think they have the hardest schedule next year.
And Brady's not there.
But
it has a bunch of primetime games now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season whenever it starts. But I think like last year, 2019 expectations were because you're coming off of a 2018 year, like, yeah, we're gonna repeat the new norm, blah 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 blah, and then you do with that. And then last year, you see expectations were high. Obviously, the expectations for the Eagles are high every year, except for a few years. But once the injuries started mounting, it was kind of like, all right, let's regroup for next year. Oh shit, we're winning. But now it's like we loaded up. Really, the only things that they can do right now, get some more depth on defensive end. I do not want Clowney. I would like Everson Griffin.
I would like Yannick.
I've been.
If we're gonna talk about what we want.
The affordable option I would like is Everson Griffin. I've been very vocal about that. And running back. People want to say, it's we have Killens, we have Warren, we have Holyfield, Clement's back, blah, blah, blah. This offense is predicated on a 3 or 4 running back rotation. You saw that in 2017.
But that was before no slander Sanders.
Regardless, even before Peterson, like when McCoy was the back, and I know he had the bulk share because he was getting 1,000-yard rushing every year, but you still had all those backups. Like, I mean, you had Bryce Brown for a little bit, Barner was here and there for a while. When Westbrook was here, you had Coral Buckhalter.
Mm-hmm.
When Deuce Staley was there, Buckhalter was there, and then Westbrook was there. It's been an Andy Reid thing, so that moves over to Doug Peterson, and that's just that's just it. So it's
So of the pickings right now, to add a fourth running back to this rotation, who do you feel is best suited? Because Mike Garafolo just came out saying that the Eagles are interested in LaShawn McCoy, Devontae Freeman, and Carlos Hyde. And I know you've been doing a lot of research on these three running backs as to how they fit into our rotation right now because we need a big back. But I believe you have the answer as to who our big back is going to be.
A big back would do? Would add another package to the play calling.
Okay.
And speaking of packages, we are proudly sponsored by Manscaped.
I was waiting for it.
We're proudly sponsored by Manscaped. Hey guys, I don't know about you guys, but the last time I've been at work was March 13th. So tomorrow would be 2 months at home.
Oh my God.
Tomorrow's May 13th. 2 months at home tomorrow. And I'm telling you, as much as I love my wife, I love my daughter, I love my dog.
Dude, why does your dog have to do with this package?
It's get boring here sometimes. So, but all right. So fellas, if you're bored in the house, why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls, thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0.
That Lawnmower 3.0 is actually a very phenomenal machine.
Legit, I am telling you.
I'm still obsessed with the LED light that it has. Like, that is so phenomenal.
Like my razor, my buzzer's upstairs right now in my bathroom. But I'm telling you, if you can get every nook and cranny with that little light. It is legit. It's the only men's brand dedicated to below the waist grooming. Also, what they're doing is they are partnering with testicular cancer research. So a lot of their purchases they send proceeds to testicular cancer research. So guys, fellas, later on while you're playing with your balls after this, because I know we got you in the mood for that, feel around, check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right. So I'm telling you, Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game. They have precision tools, but not only do they have the buzzer, they have a body wash. I'm telling you, you smell so good afterwards.
I actually just got mine in the mail, and I have to use it tonight.
Their foot deodorant. If you're on the move, like let's say today, after my Peloton workout that kicked my ass, spray some of that foot deodorant, spray in your shoes. People are gonna think that you came right out the shower. It is great. It is awesome. It's skin safe technology because if you have a regular buzzer going down there and you nick a little piece of your sack, ooh,
game over.
That's it. But this buzzer is so gentle that your sack is gonna feel like a sheep is just rubbing up on it. It has crop mop towels, like ball towels, ball wipes, ball deodorant. It's got the works for you. You see your wife, your girlfriend, fiance getting all these products for their hair, their face, their hairy armpits that they don't want to admit that it gets hairy every now and then. Hook yourself up and make sure your ball needs are met.
Completely agree.
To make sure your pocket's clean for your franchise quarterback down there. So make sure you're using FTB at checkout, 20% off, free shipping. Tell them the bald-headed birds, banter, bros, lots of bees sent you.
It's FTB to get 20% off. FTB flipping the birds for the balls, whatever you wanted to call it, 20% off, and you get free shipping. Let's not forget that. That's very key to right now because a lot of these places are up in the charges because of shipping.
Yeah, and they come on decent time too. Like Amazon right now, I don't know why the hell we're paying for Prime. because next week we're going down to South Carolina, and because we gotta get away. And it's gonna be our first 10-hour drive with our baby, and holy shit.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
But you know, we're on Amazon yesterday, and we're like, oh, we gotta buy some stuff. Free Prime, and we pay for it. You know, Prime just be 2-day shipping. Won't come until next Wednesday when we're already out. Oh, what the hell is the point of Prime?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for
Manscaped gets it to you pretty quickly, so there you go. But anyways,
so back to what we're talking about running backs.
Yeah, so Mike Garofalo confirmed what Adam Kaplan was saying. Kaplan reported on Inside the Birds that they're looking at Carlos Hyde. And I've been a Hyde fan for a long time back when
he was with San Fran. He was very appealing to become one of the Eagles because they were actually
back when he was Jekyll. See what I did there?
I did. I caught it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evil Twins Brewing because Chris put me on to
Evil Twin.
And I feel like, yeah.
Evil Twin, Brooklyn, New York. This one's called My Small Town has been so much more charming ever since they put in new boutique condos. I'm telling you, with Evil Twin, the longer the name, the better the beer.
See, Eagles podcast has been more so much more charming ever since they put Flippin' the Birds.
Yeah, it's really, it's just 10.5%. It's a double dry hopped triple IPA with milk sugar in it. And if you're gonna drink a double IPA, triple IPA, make sure you find the ones with lactose or milk sugar in it. It changes the game. Oh my god, I love beer, but these are my favorite. Anyways, so we're looking at who should they add? And Garofalo said that not only are they looking at Hyde, they're looking at Devontae Freeman and LaShawn McCoy too.
So those are the big three names right now.
People are putting down LaShawn McCoy. And I get it. I understand. He'll be 32 in July. It's I get it. It's more of a
it's a too late for a return kind of thing for me, honestly.
It's more of a nostalgic type thing, because they have
Golden Boy
Miles Sanders there, that I have accused of being too shady-like in his early career. Because he was in September, he was bouncing outside. And we'll get to this in a minute. When his bread and butter is a different kind of run. We'll get into that in a minute. It's. I'll get in there.
Just go.
Let me say my.
Just do it.
So this year the Eagles, there's 7 zones of running.
Mm-hmm.
7 zones. There's left end, and if you look at the play-by-play, you'll see Miles Sanders rushes to the left end for a 15-yard gain. Miles Sanders rushes to the left tackle for a 15-yard gain. Left guard, up the middle, right guard, right tackle, right end. There are 7 zones. Left end and right end are more of the – so you know what I'm going to do right now? Hold on 1 second.
Oh, here it is.
So let's see. I'm going to do this. Oh, that's not a good one. We're going to look at what I'm going to do is we're going to do this. Okay. Screen share. And now we are screen sharing the all 22 of the last Dallas game. I guess I cannot. Maybe I can. Here we go. All right. So this is Miles Sanders goes to the right tackle for 1-yard gain. So we're going to play this right now. So they're lining up. And there we go. So as you're going to see, he's more on this hash mark here, and you see he ends up right here.
Is this the first play?
This is his first rush of the game. So the second play, actually third play, but there was a penalty on Peters previously.
Which always happens, which we'll get into later.
Yeah. So here you go. I'm going to pause it right there. So you can see where he is. This is a right tackle rush. If he was more out here, that would be a right end rush. If he was over here, left guard, right here up the middle. I'm sorry, right. Left guard. So here's the right guard. Say Miles right here. Here's right tackle. I'm sorry. This is right. Sorry, right tackle. Here's right tackle here, right end, right guard. Here's Brooks. Up the middle, Kelsey. Left guard here, Sam Allo. Left tackle, Peters right here. And here's Goddard on the other side. So if he's between the hash marks, closer here, it's a left tackle run. Little closer left, it's a guard run. And up the middle is a center run, obviously. And here outside will be edge runners. End runs. So now that you see that. Now I did a little bit of a digging. Now last year, the Eagles in 2019 had 5.2 yards per carry to the left end. So going around Jason Peters, to the left tackle, they averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Left guard, they averaged 4.9 yards per carry. Up the middle, they averaged 5.3. However, when they went to the right, where Brooks, Johnson, and when usually Ertz lines up around there too, Goddard, 3.6 right guard, 3.6 right tackle, 3.1 all the way to the right end. Now, kind of because when you see their plays, they do a lot of pulling. They do a lot of motion work, and you can kind of understand that they didn't do well on that side because you kind of need Peters to pull to the right side to make these work. And Peters is not pulling to the right side nowadays, not when he's 38 years old. But when you look at the left side and you got Lane pulling, you got Brandon Brooks pulling, that's going to work. So when you're looking at this, we've been so obsessed with, especially me, the A.J. Dillon train that I've been on. And by the way, he sucks. Anyways,
Wait, what?
Now that he's on the Packers, he sucks.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Miles Sanders, like we were so on the notion that we need a bruiser, we need a big body back, we need someone to go between the tackles to complement Scott and Sanders hitting the outside and gashing the hell out of these defensive lines and linebackers, that this next guy comes in and he just pounds the rock inside. However,
say it.
I did some digging and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is interesting. Miles Sanders in 2019, his rookie year. It was 2019, correct? Correct. So Miles Sanders, when he was rushing up the middle, he had 39 attempts up the middle. He ran it 250. He had 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 first downs, averaged 6.54 yards a carry up the middle. Now, compare that to his other runs. He really liked that area. Left guard, 6.4 yards per carry. Right guard, 4.92 yards per carry. Now, when he went on the edges of the hash marks and the tackle box right there, not so great. Left tackle, 2.83 yards per carry. Right tackle, 3.31 yards per carry. When he won the outsides, left end all the way to the left, 5.68. But when he went to the other side, which I get, and I'm writing an article about this, and I wrote about this, I get this was a little bit of an area that didn't work for him. 3.09 yards per carry all the way out on the edge like that.
To the right or to the left?
To the right. So going to the right and around Lane Johnson all the way out there. I get it because most of the time when he was a shotgun, he was lining up to Wentz's left. So for Wentz to take the ball, hand it off to his left, and then for Wentz to get out the way, so Miles Sanders can get all the way out there. I get it.
So much going on.
Too much going on, especially for a rookie. Sanders for going left end, he could just go, and then he could just go. So do we have that bruiser there already in Miles Sanders? Against the Cowboys this year, he had 10 rushes up the middle in both games, 64 yards. So he was averaging 6.4 yards a carry against the Cowboys alone, up the middle. And then you look at Jordan Howard, where and Boston Scott, they kind of made up for his deficiencies, Sanders' deficiencies. So they complimented him well. Howard and Scott both average. Howard averaged 5 yards carry up the middle. Scott averaged 4.13. So we go to left tackle, where Miles Sanders averaged 2.83 yards. Jordan Howard averaged 4.87. Boston Scott averaged 4.38. Right tackle, Sanders averaged 3.31. Jordan Howard averaged 4. Boston Scott averaged 4.17.
So Sanders is not an outside runner.
He's not really an outside runner. As much as we wanted to, because it just seemed like he was bouncing outside so many times. Mm-hmm. And people want to talk about the eye test. There's your eye test. He looked like he was going outside, but he really wasn't. You gotta look at the numbers. But then you look at the right end. Sanders 3.09, Howard was 1.22, Scott was 3.89, and Sproles was 1.33. For all this, all the stuff that Sproles did. Sproles, by the way, was a middle of the line runner. Also, he was 4.2. But so Jason Peters can't pull anymore. If just by the
so he's been hindered from offensive lines.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe Dillard opens that up. So if we're thinking Dillard opens that up, maybe we look at running backs who excel on the right side to help out that running game a little bit more. So in their careers, Carlos Hyde on the right edge. On right guard, he averages 3.86. Right tackle, 3.61. Right end, 3.99. Devontae Freeman, right guard, 3.66. Right tackle, 5. Right end, 4.07. McCoy, for his career, 3.16. 4.2 on the right guard, 4.24 on right tackle, 4.79 on the right end. So he's and on the left end, he's a 4.96 in his career.
He might be the best. Well,
last year,
he might be the best compliment to Sanders right now.
Right. So let me go.
Okay.
Last year, Hyde on the left end, 4.57. Left tackle, 3.64. Left guard, 5.94. Middle, 3.88. Right guard, 4.5. Right tackle, 4.26. Right end, 4.31. Devontae Freeman last year. Left end, 2.58. Left tackle, 4.17. Left guard, 2.1. Up the middle, 4.44. Right guard, 3.8. Right tackle, 4.19. Right end, 3.44. Shady. Very limited work last year. Very limited work. Last year, he did not, before I get to his numbers, last year his highest amount of snaps were 49% of the snaps in the game. He hasn't played more than 76% of snaps since 2017. 2018, 76% was his most, and that was in week 6 with Buffalo. Last year, his 49% came in week 6 with Kansas City. I guess he has something with week 6s. And then it just tailed off towards the end of the season. And you saw that he didn't really play much, if at all, in the playoffs with Kansas City. He had 1 snap in the playoffs, and that was in the Houston game. So last year, in his limited amount of time, left end, Shady, 5.89. Left tackle, 4.73. Left guard, 2.38. Middle, 3.62. He's a career 4.53. Right guard, where Howard and Scott didn't do great, but Sanders did, 5. Right tackle, where Sanders did not do great, but Howard and Scott did, 6.78. And then right end last year, where none of the Eagles running backs were great, 4.38. So in a limited amount of time that Shady played last year, he was getting yards. He was still getting yards. And I know, if you're going to listen to us, and I know I'm probably going to get dragged for this, and especially in the YouTube comments are very mean sometimes.
Well, yeah, but this makes a lot of sense, though, because Shady is an outside runner. He's not an in-between inside guy.
So if we're looking for what we've been looking for this so wrong these last few weeks, we've been looking for the inside runner for the outside of Sanders and Scott, when we should be looking for that second outside runner for Sanders inside and Scott's outside. And maybe, I was saying that A.J. Dillon would have been the Brandon Jacobs to Miles Sanders, Derek Ward, and Miles Sanders and Ahmad Bradshaw, and Boston Scott's Derek Ward. But maybe Sanders is a more dynamic Brandon Jacobs, and Boston Scott is that Derek Ward, and we're looking for that Ahmad Bradshaw. It might be Shady.
It's not a bad idea.
Shady still averaged 4.6 yards a carry last year. 465 yards on 101 carries. You know, I training with DJs in the summer, if social distancing lets up a little bit, I'm sorry, you know, I think we get a rejuvenated LeSean McCoy, and
Static should be back in Philly.
I think he's already posted on Instagram like Philly will always be my home, and DJs commented on it saying "Come home" or "Homecoming," something like that. I'm going to make my case in an article. Hopefully it comes out the next couple of days if I could get it out. But I'm just showing you numbers.
It makes a ton of sense. You actually
back my arguments up with numbers.
You actually convinced me, because at the beginning of this conversation I said Shady feels like, you know, too late to return, but the fact that we need an outside runner more than we need an inside guy, it's the only thing that makes sense now. You stumped me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm legitly stumped right now.
That's what I do.
Hats off to you, man.
That's what I do, you know. And I'm really hoping that with my numbers and all, like, I convince more people that are listening to us. Because again, I was one of those people like Shady, you know.
You were heavy on the Dillon train and the Howard train to begin last season too.
Because I was so convinced that we need an inside runner.
You were convinced that we needed a Blunt type runner.
We needed a Blunt, right? We needed a LeGarrette Blunt to come in.
Mm-hmm.
But when you but think of it, like even also Carlos Hyde. I love Carlos Hyde. I've been wanting him on the Eagles, but now I'm looking at all different ways. Carlos Hyde offers nothing in the passing game. He caught 10 passes last year in 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
He offers nothing. So do we really want a running back to come in that takes away one aspect of an offensive game plan, or do we want someone that kind of changes the game but also keeps the same play calling if needed? I know Boston Scott keeps it the same. Miles Sanders, obviously. Devontae Freeman can still catch the ball, but you know he comes in with a lot of injury risks. Shady too because of his age, but again, Shady wouldn't be he would definitely be coming in knowing that this is Miles Sanders' team. 100%. There's no way he would come in, I would hope not, with an egotistical view of this is still my team. Like I know DJ still has his, of course, I'm a number one receiver, and maybe he is. We've seen him for one game last year. We don't know, but I feel like at a running back position, you know when your time is coming up. Like it's DJX's time last year was cut short. It's not like he played the whole season and he just couldn't cut it. It was so cut short that he definitely could see like, all right, I'm gonna come back and show that I still got it. Sean McCoy last year showed on a limited role that he still has something left in the tank. So keep him in that limited role.
So that means he's hungry for more. So definitely stumped me, and I want to end the pod with this because I think, you know, the folks that we had on the running backs today was very, very necessary with the week that's coming up where, you know, possibly signing a new running back, a veteran running back. And if LeSean McCoy does get signed, don't forget where you heard it first, that McCoy is actually the best compliment to Scott and Sanders. You're feeling yourself right now, and I'm going to applaud it. I'm going to let it rock. You killed this one. I'm not going to lie. You stumped the life out of me.
And you know what? If anybody is doubting my numbers, which I don't think you will, but you know I'm doing it anyway. Look at all this crap that I just did.
He's legit been sending this to our chat.
Look at this
all week long.
And this is just to show you the Super Bowl run here. This Ajayi, don't look at this number really. It's 12.25 off the left tackle. That was aided by that run against the Broncos. That like 80-something yard rush. That's what that's why that's ballooned so much. But you look at these runs, like that year they were heavy up the middle, and they had Ajayi. They had everybody to go off the left edge. So if you're looking at that, let's say
Clement's not bad off the end either.
Right. So like that's another thing. You can add Clement to that mix, and then you have Sanders, Scott, McCoy, and Clement. So you add Clement to this. Who look, he's an outside runner and an inside runner. That's what he is. Yeah, you see these here and these here. He offers nothing in between the tackles on that end. He's either up the gut or outside. That's what he is. You look at Blount. Blount was in either up the. Sanders really looks like a Blount looking to these numbers up the middle or up to the left. Up to the right, yeah, Sanders has to work on that. But you see, left guard and right guard weren't great for Blount. Was good for Sanders though. It's just a little bit of a difference, but it's very eerily similar. So if we add McCoy to this, who last year was good at left end, left tackle, right guard, right tackle, right end, you kind of have that Ajayi also.
You pretty much have a backfield that's pretty much unstoppable.
Right. You have a backfield that will get you all greens.
And you have Miles Sanders and Boston Scott learning from one of the best to ever do it.
Right. So and then you got that's it. And then you got number 25 and number 26 in the backfield.
It's not a bad idea. So this is gonna be the first time that we've done this in Flipping the Birds history. But next week we'll be talking about the offensive line and whether the Eagles sign Jason Peters or not. Between now and then, we'll discuss why he should come back versus why he shouldn't come back. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll be joined by Liam Jenkins and possibly maybe a special guest.
Working on these guys. You know, they're not answering my emails. I have all these guys that say, "Yeah, check back with me here," and then I check back, and then I'm left on scene.
Well, guys, until next week, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, if you're on Apple Podcasts, rate us, review us, whatever you want, good or bad. If you're on YouTube, keep doing what you're doing. Chris and I love it. I'm not going to lie, even though Chris sometimes gets a little offended by it, but we love it still. Any other platform, just let us know how you guys feel about the podcast and what else you guys expect.
You know, guys, we're still on
15 ratings and
15 reviews on Apple Podcasts. Guys, this is episode 36.
It's 36. It's 35 to begin with.
Oh, you're an idiot.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
15.
Yeah.
15 ratings. May 5th was episode 35. Just so you know, today's May 12th. Episode 36.
My apologies, folks. It's definitely episode 36.
We still only have 15 reviews. You know, that's unacceptable. If you love us so much, let us know.
Yes. Don't hold back.
You tweet us and everything, and you follow us, and that's great. By the way, I'm at 1692 now.
Oh my God. Still, I'm actually. Wait, did I crack it? I think I cracked 400 today. I'm not gonna lie.
Congratulations.
It's a little, it's a little bit of milestone in my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's so, and then on YouTube,
401.
There you go. On YouTube, we're at 871 views for last few. So we're loving the views. We absolutely love the views. I do not love the 2 downvotes that we have for our last.
I think it's the same person every week. The same 2 people every week. So
downvoting.
I really don't care, honestly.
I'm gonna find you.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Well, we also do we love the commentary on YouTube. You know, people are having conversations in there and everything. That's great. Keep it up. Just review us on Apple. Get us up there.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be, recognized. I want to walk down the street and be like, "Are you Chris Infante?" Like, yeah, that's me. But not in a bad way, like they usually do. Like, you're Chris Infante, and I try to walk the other way.
You owe me much money.
Yeah, and I turn around and I cover my mouth. Like, sorry. And I put my mask on and I walk the other way to social distance. But anyways, thank you. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk about LaShawn McCoy.
I'm not gonna lie, man. You really stumped me today. But until next week, guys, I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Infante. We're Flipping the Birds. And, yeah.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.